we have the topography on our side in Peru, so we have a number of veins. We're driving across the veins, and then once we hit the veins, we can start extracting mineral from them, bring them to our plant for processing. We got all the permits in place for this, and it's like a drill hole, but instead of sending a tube down, we are actually building the infrastructure for future extraction of mineral, and that's where the old school Peruvian miners started with.
StockPulse.com, we are on location, PDAC 2023, and we're talking hidden treasures here with Jeff Reeder. He's the president and CEO of Peruvian Metals down there in northern Peru. He's got a processing plant, Aquila, Norte. Mm-hmm. So, Jeff, good to see you here. And you've got a little different model here than the ones I've seen around here. Why don't you talk about the strengths of your company?
Okay, well, our model is quite different. I'm driving my company towards more increased revenue. And the way we do it, we have a processing plant. I've been processing third-party ore. We've been processing our own ore by purchasing from legal miners, and we've been doing that quite successfully over the last several years, and we've been positive income. I haven't had a need to go to the market since 2018. We did a small financing in 2020, but that was just because of the COVID restrictions were lifted. But I haven't been to the market since 2018. We are driving our model as for developing our own high-grade properties. I'm after high-grade in northern Peru. Peru is a country that's a small miner is flourishing right now. They are making money themselves by mining minerals. There's a formalization process in power where the government's supporting them. They're getting agreements with underlying title holders. But we have our own properties, and we have our own miners going to start delivering mineral to our own plant, which will increase our margins. And I believe we're going to have a great next couple of years. I mean, we haven't, the most important thing that people need to know, that, we're protecting our share capital, and the way you do that is cash flow. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, you've been cash positive here for a few years or so, and one of the goals was to be debt-free this year. That's kind of an anomaly in this sector.
Yeah, well, it is, but it's also an anomaly in the sector that, I don't believe in raising money and drilling a bunch of holes and rolling the dice and hoping for the best. We are instead looking at, and since we own the properties 100% and we have cash flow, no one's driving me for quick results. We are doing some infrastructure, drifting our adits into mineral, and those are almost vertical drill holes. But you access the mineral. We take the mineral to our plant for processing, and then we'll be able to see where we are, and that's our exploration strategy by drifting, bulk sampling, and doing it this way. It's a little slower, but we have lots of time in the world because we don't need to go to the market.
Old
school.
Yeah. I was going to say, enlighten investors about drifting here.
Drifting basically
drilling.
is just driving like we have the topography on our side in Peru, so we have a number of veins. We're driving across the veins, and then once we hit the veins, we can start extracting mineral from them, bring them to our plant for processing. We got all the permits in place for this, and it's like a drill hole, but instead of sending a tube down, we are actually building the infrastructure for future extraction of mineral, and that's where the old school Peruvian miners started with. The old school Mexican miners, let's say, they all started, even back in the gold rushes and the booms in Canada and U.S. The old miners drift and they access their mineral this way, and that's what I'm doing. I've got a group of Peruvian miners that have worked tens of years. They know how to do this stuff. Peru is full of great miners. We don't need to go and hire expensive consultants because we're driving cash flow, and I don't need a bunch of high-priced consultants to do it. We're drifting in. We're doing all our underground development by using Peruvian engineers and geologists.
So you're an old school treasure hunter, Jeff. You've been in Peru 29 years, I think it is.
29 years, and we're basically, I'm going old school, but we use some software technology to do all the stuff, but we're old school. I mean, we're drifting and we're taking mineral to our plants and processing it, and that's just exactly what the miners done in Peru, Mexico, Chile in the past, and even in North America, way before everything. There are so many high-grade projects available, and some of the bigger companies are ignoring them because they're just don't affect their bottom line. We have a $10 million market cap, and if I can have our plant full of our own mineral at our cost, we're gonna be creating revenues that will drive our market cap higher without diluting our stock. And that's what I think what shareholders want to see. That's what I want to see, and that's what and just saying that, Rob, is that 51% of my stockholders are reporting insiders, and they're fully aligned. We're fully aligned to drive revenue growth where we can return capital back to our stockholder one day, maybe a purchase buyback, or bank some of our mineral in a vault. We got lots of opportunities here, and lots of ideas for us as a treasure hunter. But I'm actually producing the treasure, not just looking for it and hope to hell to find more kind of thing. So.
Yeah, let's talk about the inventory there, Jeff. Where's the feed coming from? Or you talk about high grade. You're obviously.
So we have 3 projects, and one we have Palta Dorada, which is a 50% with another junior company, Real Silver, and the average grade of the veins that we're going to be mining are about 10 grams gold, about 10 ounce silver, and about 2% copper. And we're going to bring that, and it's located about 150 kilometers from our plant. Mainly 80% of that is highway. So we can bring the mineral to our plant for processing, take the money and keep further drifting, and fill our plant up with that mineral. But I'm also got a couple other projects in the pipeline that have one called Minas Visca, which has historic reports of mining up 13 ounces silver, 4% lead, or 4% zinc, 3% lead, and that's located along a highway. Transportation costs are minimal, $35 a ton to bring that much mineral. But you're looking at 13 ounces of silver and all that mineral, you're looking at a $400 rock. And we can mine that and less about $150 rock plus processing fee, so we can be in cash flow right away on our own mineral.
And this is an interesting story because you took this from a project generator. So talk about, you've had some victories here as well.
So we've done a lot of project generation with, I've sold or JV projects to First Quantum Minerals, IM Gold, Real Alto Mining, Real Tinto, a lot of companies. But the problem with the prospect generator model, which I found out, was you're reliant on them making option payments and equity. Meanwhile, you still got to run your business. And so I still do that, but I decided to take my projects and find junior companies and sell them into, if it's not for feed for my plant, to look at a junior company to sell it outright for some cash and a good equity position in their company with a royalty, right? So we're generating our own royalties and we're generating our own share position in other juniors. One is International Metals Mining that we own a good position in. They have a porphyry copper that we did, that First Quantum spent $5 million on. I put it in their company and I made it a one-shot deal with them, cash and shares, because I want them to be successful so they can go out and raise money, and not saying to raise money and to put it back in the Peruvian Metals pocket, because that doesn't work. You need to go put it 100% in their company and the project so they can go raise money, and we're going to benefit from it too. So in a way, Peruvian Metals has revenue coming from third-party ore, mineral from our own ore, revenue from cash payments and share payments, and hopefully these royalties coming through as well. So we're multiple revenue streams that we're doing, and we're all down by driving revenue growth, which I'm saying on the back here, and I want shareholders to understand that. We're big shareholders, and we want to increase our share position, and how we do that is to buy some more stock, or even to buy back some, if we may do that, or to return capital to
share buyback?
Yeah.
Is that a thing here, Jeff?
Well, there's out of all the Peruvian juniors in 2022, only one company was buying back their shares was Dynacor, and they're in almost the same model, and their share price was the highest share price out of all the other junior companies that are exploring Peru, and they had negative dilution on their stock from over 2 years. We only had less than 5%, and our two companies were the only ones that really showed return on our share price. But that's the model that's been proven, and it's working, and it works.
Okay, we'll look forward to tracking your hidden treasures that you seem to be finding. So, Jeff Reeder, President, CEO, Peruvian Metals, PER Venture Exchange, DUVNF on the OTC markets in the States. Jeff, thanks for that treasure hunting update.
Okay, thanks.